Yo, what's up, guys? It's been a minute. Uh, life busy, working. Yeah, but I'm back. So welcome back to the channel. Back dudes, back chicks. I've had people asking me about my bike specs breakdown. So today I'm going to do that. It's the Gatoma GTZ 250 GY. So yes, this one is a bit kitted out. I'm sure the last time you saw it wasn't like this. This isn't stock anymore. It's had a few upgrades, not power wise or engine wise or performance wise, but mostly just making it more robust, more practical for everyday transit. Yes, I use this bike for everyday commute to and from work. Yeah. So yes, 250 GTZ. That stands for Gatoma Zambia, from what I'm told. GY should be the type of engine. Zoom in on the engine. So you have a single piston engine, powertrain with a chain. Can show the chain. Yep. So this is Gatoma's 250cc engine. Yes. You have a 10-liter tank. That should be filled by like 300 kwacha with today's current price on gas. Then you have a speedometer that goes up to 120, but on this bike it's not built for speed. It's more of a dual sport, so you enjoy it more on the gravel, but it will get you going on the highway as well. So you probably get to 90, 80, 90 is a good speed for this bike in my observation. But if you get to 100, you're really moving, but you'll be pushing the bike. But on a good day, to get to 100 easy, um, you have manually adjusted mirrors. You have automatic electric start. I'll get to that in a bit. Of course, you have your key here. It's pretty basic. You have your lock off on. If you put it on, you can start it. Then when you lock it, you lock the whole steering mechanism. That means someone can push your bike in a straight line once it's locked. You have an LED headlamp, high beam, low beam, very powerful high beam. LED indicators front and back. You have a long travel suspension in the front, and of course you have disc brakes with drill bits for good cooling. You have what they call a PZ30 carburetor. From my research, it should be bigger, but yeah, that gets you going. Single spark plug. You have a window here to check your oil level. Then of course you have the dipstick. You have a drum brake in the back. On some modern bikes you have a disc brake, but this one comes with a drum brake. Yes. You have a leather seat, though I've changed that and added a meshing for protection of the seat and better comfort. Then you have exhaust. Of course, it's not the loudest, but it gives you a good oomph. You can always upgrade that later on, or even remove the silencer. So like I said, LED brake light, number plate goes there. Then you also, standard, it comes with this metal carrier. You can load your stuff up. So what else? Yeah, I think that's mostly specs of the bike. So now to get into the add-ons that I've done, I got a top box. This one came in from TZ. It's I think 45 liters, if not less. You can put all sorts of stuff in there. Your laptop, if you're doing daily commute, you can put some documents in there. It's pretty handy. Extra storage, and it's good to get the bag off your back with all that weight if you're carrying stuff to and from work. Then I got a spotlight. It's 3i spotlight. You have fog light in orange, and you have white light in white, of course. It's a pretty good light, very powerful. So I also got a crash guard. Ordered this. This isn't usually found locally for this particular bike. You have to do some research on where you can find one, but I had to order this one. So I've also done some stickers for extra visibility, reflection. Of course, the drivetrain is a chain. Oh yes, you have a single mono shock in the back. Long travel, it gives the bike its ride height. It's very high. Then of course you have this comes stock with the off-road tires. In rain season, on different surfaces, on tar, if it's like smooth, what do you call it, concrete where you're riding, it's a very risky tire. It slides easy, but on tarmac, on pavers, on gravel, it's a really good tire to get you around. Very grippy on the off-road, gives you a lot of confidence. Yeah, at high speeds it does feel a bit bumpy, but yeah, it gets you where you need to be. No real need to upgrade unless you just want a more comfortable tire, something that works better on the tour, but this is a good tire. So I have done 5,000 kilometers on this bike, and I haven't had any serious problems with it, other than for those of you who have been following, you know that I'm learning how to get around the bike. So most of the mistakes or issues I've had on this bike are self-caused. Maybe putting the wrong oil, falling, but I haven't had any serious crash yet. It's a pretty high bike compared to other bikes of this nature, so you really need to be a bit taller. You need to get used to how you get on and off it. But yeah, you have a horn there, of course, hidden in there. So yeah, so I've had some questions on the pros and cons of this bike. So far, pros. Start with the pros. It's a very robust bike. I mess around with it in the gravel a lot, so I've pushed it a bit, you know, but I haven't had anything break or fall apart or any serious malfunction or breakdown with this bike. So solid bike, very robust. If you're doing a lot of off-roading, rural riding, I used mostly, I'm on the tarmac, but yeah, where I live there's a bit of a rough gravel, so regardless I push it a lot in there and it gets me around. Then on tar it's really good, good grip, fairly good highway speed. Like I said, it will get you up to like 100 on a good day, but good cruising speed for this bike is about 80 to 90. The fuel economy is really good. If I put a 300 full tank gas, that would get me about the whole week. So on this bike I'm doing like 250 kilometers a week. That's 50 kilometers a day, and it's doing very well. It's doing very well. I'm a bit aggressive on my acceleration, so sometimes I have to top up a bit of gas before the end of the week. But if you're easy on accelerating, you're a very patient rider, you like to chill, take your time, good speeds, maybe below 60 max, you get around just fine with the gas. The tires, like I said, they're really good on the tarmac as well, unless in rain season on particular surfaces like flat, smooth concrete. But on pavers, tarmac, gravel, these are really good tires. What else? The lighting stock is really good. The lighting stock is really good, so you don't have any problems with that. Front brake is really solid. Haven't had any problems with that. So the cons. For me, with my height, the ride height is a bit of a con for me. So getting on and off the bike sometimes can be a challenge. Also, if you're weaving through traffic, it doesn't give you too much confidence with the particular ride height. But if you're doing off-roading, this bike and its ride height, super nice. The suspension will give you enough travel front and back. The tires will give you good grip. Another con, I think, is the rear brake. I don't know if it's the type of brakes. They make a lot of noise, but I think that's normal. But like, I got this bike maybe 3 months ago, 4 months at most. The rear brake is always constantly making noise. In the morning it's normal because of like moist, you know, but other than that, I don't think it should be making noise. I don't know if it's because it's too dry now compared to in the rain season. Yeah, then another con, I don't know if it's just on my particular bike, is the chain and maybe the distances I'm doing. It gets loose at least once a week, so I have to adjust it once a week. For me, that's a bit annoying. But if you tighten it really good, I think it's all right. It's all right. The weight of the bike, it's pretty heavy. I think somewhere around 150 kilograms. So it's a bit of a challenge if you're not able-bodied and fit, especially also with the height. So if you're caught in a situation where you have to put your foot down real quick and balance the bike, the weight will get to you because of the height. So the weight and height combination isn't the best. So it might tip over, it might fall. I actually fell in the rain season in a puddle of water, huge puddle of water. kind of partially killed the bike for a day, but yeah, because I flooded the exhaust intake. So yeah, so other than that, that's another story. Another thing that's a con for me is this particular speedometer cable. It runs from the front axle all the way to the speedometer. Because this runs a manual dash, it's a bit of a challenge, because this is, let me just show you what happens. So it gets hooked in there. I think this is a design flaw. So when you park your bike, it usually is hooked like that, and then usually you want to lock your steering. So now what happens is it gets tuned and choked there. See, you see that? So that's a bit of a design flaw for me. I've actually had to change the cable once because I wasn't aware of this until the first cable cut. So even this one, you can see it's a bit damaged, but like, because now I'm aware, every time I park, I usually unhook it from behind there, and you know, I've tried to reposition it, but that, yeah. Also, this bike is naturally aspirated, and also the cooling is from the fins and the air. So the faster you go, the cooler the bike. So yeah, for me, speed isn't usually a problem. I'm usually moving fast. So yeah, that's basically it. I don't know if there's anything else I should mention, but yeah, it's a good bike all in all. I can't really complain saying don't get one. I think you should get one. If you want to get this bike, please do. It's a solid bike. This is the 250 GTZ GY, the biggest one they have at Gatomo, but like there's a 200 also. It's slightly better when ride height, it's shorter. So if you want something that you can be more comfortable with but still has the same power, get the 200. I think that one, I'm not sure of the current price, but yeah, check on their Facebook page. It should have some information. But like, yeah, I wanted to go for the biggest. I like power, I like speed. So yeah, so yes, another upgrade I did, by the way, was this meshing. Very good for the seat, protects the seat, very comfortable. Yeah, on this crash bar you can mount spotlights, and then it's also robust. If you fall, your engine, your panels are protected. So yeah. So a few things I forgot to mention. I think this could be a con also, or a pro. I don't know. It's up to you. This bike, you can carry a passenger. You have foot pegs there for a passenger. You have more space for a passenger, but it's not the best passenger bike. It's not designed for carrying passengers. Its max carry weight is about 150. So I weigh probably around 70, almost 75. So if I carry someone, they don't have to be too heavy. It messes with the performance a bit in terms of the suspension. You don't enjoy it. It bounces around a lot, and it does help with the ride height, because at least when someone sits, your feet can touch the ground. So I don't know, it could be a win, it could be a loss. But like, yeah, I don't really enjoy it when I carry someone, but like when you're on your own, it goes down on this bike. So another thing I forgot to mention, there's a 2-box stock. You can put some 2s in there. I don't use it, it's kind of pointless, but yeah, you can throw some 2s in there. I'd rather put the 2s in here. And then in addition to the electric start, you have a kickstart, which I have never actually used, but I think if your battery dies, this is handy. Some modern bikes will just have now the electric start, and this is completely out of the picture. There's nothing there, no provision to even add that. So I think that's a win. Yeah, then let me show you what I was talking about when it comes to the ride height. It's even trickier now to get on the bike with the box in the back, because I can't swing my leg over. So usually I have to do this little dance every time. Show my feet. See, mostly my feet are tippy-toeing, so it's a bit of a challenge, but once you get going, it's not a problem. You gain confidence as you go. So come closer. So of course, like I said, electric start. Give me the camera. Electric start. You put your key on, the dash comes on. Make sure the power is going to where it's supposed to go. There you go. It's easy as that. You don't have to fight with the kickstand. It's just a button away. That's really good for this bike. Then you have your switch for the lights. You have Bella, show the front, the lights, So you have low beam, to move closer. This is normal. I connected it in a way where it shows this as well on the normal. Then you have your high beam. See the LED like this, gives me far range. And of course indicators left and right, very visible. So yeah, that's basically the bike. So yeah, ride height again, bit of a challenge. When you lean the bike on the stand, sometimes you feel like you're going to tip over and it gives you a bit of a scare. So that's definitely a con, the ride height. Sometimes you really need to get your head around it and gain the confidence. So now again, with the box in the back, it's a bit of a challenge to also get off. I don't know if you can see on camera, but I have to do the dance again. You know, sometimes I have to jump off. So if you're doing like a corporate job, you have to have flexible pants. I'll show you actually working in corporate. So you can imagine I'm doing the daily commute on this corporate. So I think I'll do a video on that later on. But yeah, regardless, I'm doing fine. That's the bike. I do apologize, I keep forgetting to say stuff. I haven't done this type of video before. So another pro. This bike is easy to maintain, very easy. I think that's something that matters a lot to people. You don't have to spend much on maintenance, and like I said, nothing has broken, 5,000 kilometers, so I haven't have to spend on replacing parts already or whatever. Other than the accelerator cable, I think that's the biggest thing I've had to replace, but everything else, solid. You buy a bottle of 2 bottles of oil, obviously, for starting. Your first service is after 300 kilometers. I think I did a video on this in one of my earlier videos when I started working on this bike. So you spend at most, maybe your most highest expenditure would be the first purchase of oil, maybe to get you like 300 for 2 bottles, maybe 340, 350. So a bottle of Puma oil 10W50 will cost you like, depending on which Puma you go to, because apparently the prices differ. For me, the one where I buy, it's like 140, sometimes less, maybe even 130. Yeah, so you get a bottle 1 liter, drain the oil, and get the dirty oil and put the clean oil, fresh oil. Takes you like what, 20-30 minutes. Then obviously the only other maintenance you want to do is maybe make sure your chain is tight, go through your boats, you know, after riding for a whole month, because I'm servicing this bike once every month, by the way, because of the distance I'm doing. So like I said, I'm doing 250 kilometers a week. 250 kilometers a week, so per month that's 1,000 kilometers. So this bike requires service every 1,000 kilometers, so I'm doing my service every month. So I hate that it's that way, but like that's what I have to deal with. Regardless, it's still cheaper than a car at the moment. So gas wise, maintenance wise, very easy, very cheap. Compared to a car, if I put 300 kwacha in a Vitz, from where I'm staying, that would get me like 1 day. Maybe I can start my transit going to work the next day as well on that tank of gas, 300. And some of us were a bit heavy-footed on acceleration and speed. That wouldn't get me far, maybe even just 1 day on 300 kwacha. So, but with a bike, a whole week, guy, a whole week. Easy, cheap maintenance. If you're looking to get one for everyday transit, you can get. There are smaller ones. If you're not confident with something big and powerful, you can get the smaller one. That's not a pressure. I think it's even better. Some of us, we are adrenaline junkies, so hence we went for the big, powerful machines. Every time I'm riding in the street, random guy, maybe Yango, or even just another biker, it's like, my boss, big machine, big machine. So yeah, it gives you some, you know, makes you feel good. But like, yeah, I would go for something smaller, but like I said. But yeah, it's a good bike. If you want to start out from something powerful but not too powerful, I think it's a good bike to start with. Easy maintenance, good fuel economy, good comfort, good durability. It's robust. it gets you around. It makes you look good. Riding this compared to something smaller like a 150cc, 100cc, no one will think you're a delivery person. When they see this, even when you pull up at the filling station, it's like, bossy Yango. You can't use Yango. Even with the box, I know some of my friends made fun of me. It's like, hey, you're putting a box now, you want to do Yango. It's like, hey, with this box, my guy, no one will think you're doing Yango, especially not on this bike. Not on this bike. Yeah, and I'm still working on it. You guys who follow my page will see as it grows and gets better. It's gonna be, I mean, already it looks the part. It's different from the 200s and the 250s. 250s are not too common, I think, on the street, but even the 200s, compared to what you've seen, I think you can see that there's something nyosi anakwe, and it's still in the process. I'm still kuipanga, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's gonna be a beast. Still working on it. Keep following, keep watching, and see it grow. See me develop as a rider as well. This one is for the bros, guys. Like, I know there's a bunch of people out there who like bikes, and when you look online, you check South Africa, you check the prices of bikes. You go to Yamaha, you ask the prices of bikes. They're expensive, bro. But like, this is a good budget bike. The price is good. That's another pro. You can actually manage to save up for this bike, maybe like, depending on what your salary is, you can save a year, even a year and a half. Maybe if you get a small loan, you can top up and finish up everything. But like, you know, end of year bonuses, what you can manage to buy this bike. It's actually affordable compared to most of the bikes out there. It's an affordable bike. Yeah. So like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed my video. I hope it has made sense. I hope I've spoken about what needs to be spoken. Please continue following, liking. I'm at 90 followers, subscribers rather, now, and I didn't expect to get there so soon. I started my YouTube page not too long ago, and there are people commenting, telling me, hey, you gotta keep doing what you're doing. It's making sense. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate your comments. I think I reply to almost everyone, because my page wouldn't be what it is. I wouldn't keep doing this if it wasn't for you guys. So I appreciate you guys. I hope we get to 100 and beyond. So yeah, please continue liking, sharing, watching my videos, spread the word. Let's get more bikers out there, guys. Hopefully even you guys who are planning on getting bikes, I hope I can meet you someday, ride together, you know, share ideas, share experiences. Some of you have been riding on smaller bikes for long and you want to upgrade. It's a good upgrade, go for it. I wouldn't suggest otherwise. So yeah, thank you guys. Share, like, subscribe. Have a good one.